Well, Coach, let's kind of look at the first two games because they were certainly different ends of the spectrum opponent-wise. But a couple of things have jumped out about your team through those first two games. Your defense played well in both games, and you've gotten some nice contributions at the running back spot from Jaquez Barksdale. But please tell us what has jumped out at you about the first two.
Sure. Well, I do think we are starting to develop an identity as a team, and that is certainly led by our defense, which we were hoping as far back as the spring would be able to take a leadership role for us as we progressed on offense and on special teams. And I think we're a tough team. We're a physical team. We're a pretty even-keeled team. Through the highs and the lows of these first two games, you look in our guys' eyes when they come off the field or on the bench or at halftime or even after the game, and they're pretty much the same guys. So that's good to see. We certainly have to improve from an execution standpoint. We need to do a better job of staying on the field offensively. We played way too many plays at Missouri defensively and got worn down. And we need to start making a difference in special teams. So there's a lot of things that are very much work in progress. But I do like our guys, and they are the same kids every day. They're a low-maintenance group. They're still figuring things out in a lot of ways. What are the expectations? How hard do we need to go in terms of preparation? So there's a lot of things that are still baby steps, and sometimes you feel like you take a half a step forward and maybe a step back, but we've got good people in the building, and you like to work with good people.
You want to see a certain amount of emotion from every football team, right? But how much more important is it that the guys are pretty even-keeled and don't get too dramatic one way or the other?
Yeah, no, I think that's critical. I mean, what you would love to see is sustained energy and focus over a 3.5-hour period of time. And that could be from the minute they walk in the building to start meetings to the minute they leave to go to class on a Tuesday. And certainly on Saturdays, it needs to be tremendous focus and continued energy over the course of the game. You know there's going to be highs and lows in every football game. You can't get too emotional.
We've seen you continue a tradition that's already approaching 10 years old now here with the honorary number 41 each game. What went into the decision to keep that going, and what goes into your decision on who gets to wear it on an individual game?
Sure. Well, I appreciate history and embrace history, whether it's American history or European history or the history of a university, the history of a university's football program. And we have an interesting history here at UB relative to football, like a lot of schools do. And it hasn't been, a constant straight line over 100 or 125 years. And so you look back at certain pivotal moments in the program and you want to educate your players about who came before them and how important those things are. So we have a 1958 society that is very relevant to our football program, to our athletic department, to our entire university. And then the number 41 jersey is also very, very relevant. And Lance Leipold and I have a friendship that dates back 30 years now, and he's been a great resource for me since I've been hired. I'd like to think I was a good resource for him when he came to UB and I was at Ball State. So we've got a very meaningful relationship, and it was one of the first things that we talked about was Solomon's passing and how important that was to educate the team about that, continue that tradition, make that something very, very meaningful in our program. And so a week or two after I got here, reached out to the family and let them know that was something we certainly plan to continue. Talked to our team about it last February. We had two guys wear number 41 for the spring game. That was Red Murdoch and Jake Orlando. And ironically, those were the same first two guys to wear it in our first two games. So we're looking for somebody who embodies the values of the program and lives up to those every day and appreciates the opportunity that they're getting here and is going to go out there and represent everyone who's walked through these doors over the last century as a UB football player.
Talking with Bulls head coach Pete Lembo as we get you ready for the Bulls and the UMass Minutemen. All right, it's not a MAC game yet. It will be as UMass comes into the MAC next year. But do you like having this matchup, and do you like knowing that they're going to be a pretty regular matchup for you?
I think it's great to play other Group of 5 institutions in your region, people that have a similar level of commitment to football to what we have. And in the case of UMass, it's also very much a peer institution to UB academically. So this is a great game for us to play. It's not too bad of a road trip for either team. It's obviously in the same time zone, a chance for fans from UMass to come and support their team here at UB today, and looking forward to a great matchup.
All right, quick wrap it up with a quick learning with Lembo. The most famous UMass alum might be Richard Gere. What's your number one Richard Gere movie?
Oh, without question, An Officer and a Gentleman.
Not Pretty Woman.
Well, my wife would probably.
So would mine.
My wife would probably say Pretty Woman, but An Officer and a Gentleman with Lou Gossett Jr. Fabulous movie.
All right, there you go. We can't avoid a little movie pop culture reference with Coach Lembo as we get you ready for the Bulls and the Minutemen. Pete, good luck.